So, hey everyone. I haven't uploaded a just calm Minecraft gameplay video in a little bit. Man, it's just so off and on, so often with me, with Minecraft. Not to like sound overly self-aware. What I mean is that I'm working on a Voxy video follow-up to the one that did really well. By the way, thank you guys. Holy cow. One of the most hyped videos on YouTube, both in the gaming category and across YouTube in general. Very amazed by that. I'm very happy with that. So I want to like capitalize on that, but also make a good video. And I literally have an editor or editors who could help me with that. I'm just like so busy and then struggling to figure out how I want the video to start or feel or be. I suppose I should be focusing on just what I think will do well, or like, you know, what I want to make the video I want to make. But then I don't know, it's like I have real concerns around making one that will actually perform well. And so I'm trying to like balance all of that, but we'll get to that eventually. So, but I literally need to go to sleep here in like 10 minutes. So I figured I'd just record a quick little session here. I'm on my server here, the member server, which if you guys are interested, $5 a month. Basically all of that money goes towards maintaining the server. So you're paying to support the game that you're playing in. It's a really good server. It's got a really good mod pack, good people. It's not like super active all the time, but look, that's just how it goes with a YouTuber's server. If I'm not like on it and making content from it, people will slowly start to, basically what will determine their interest on the server will be ultimately determined by their own interest in the game, which can come and go, you know, based on whether or not people are busy or not. And so people will join in and hop on, but it's not like a super lively, crazy civilization server or whatever. Let's be real. Like people are interested in YouTuber communities because of the possibility of being in a video, or the possibility of getting to interact with the YouTuber that they're built a parasocial relationship of sorts, which is weird to think that I could be on the receiving end of that. But I don't know. People on the Discord and on the member server are chill. I feel all of us who've interacted with YouTube for a large portion of our lives went through that phase of like really caring about some personality to the point of forming some kind of parasocial relationship, but then eventually came and maybe even imagined meeting them or doing this or that or interacting with them and getting that enthusiasm. But eventually I feel like as you mature, especially as well, you kind of just like, oh yeah, they're just people, and then you're just doing whatever. Like they're living their life, you're living yours. Like I have people that I've kind of fanboyed over and would imagine how cool it would be to meet them. But then every now and then I'm like, you know what? Actually, probably not. And to be honest, it would probably be most of a letdown. The whole joke about like, don't meet your heroes or whatever, usually that has more of a negative connotation of, oh, you're actually going to be disappointed. But it's more just like, it's just going to be underwhelming. And the worst fans of a franchise are the ones who don't really have that sense of, oh yeah, never mind, pushing this any further would be weird. And so I'm going to let myself change from the thought process that I had. There are people who don't have that sense and instead become like the weird, crazy super fans, you know, oh, will you sign my forehead or something like that, which can be funny as a meme, but like, I don't know, people definitely take it too far. So I don't know. It's just thoughts off the top of my head. I'm trying to make a new mine here for my castle build, which is my own build. I was literally taking here, I'll show you guys. I was literally taking forever to build a castle right here. And then I had some inspiration. I built in creative mode for a bit and I got this layout going, which I think looks really, really cool. All going to be towers with rooms and stuff, and it's going to all interconnect with each other if I can. This was a sweet sign I saw, except the uncly part. What? I'll just accept it at this point. If you need help with the castle, just at me. If you need sign ran out of room, run out of space. Ben Tharlemu, Jesus loves you. Thank you. That's a good reminder. Especially when the gals don't seem to love you. I'm just kidding. No, actually, life has been pretty good. I recently decided to revamp a lot of my health routine. I live in Arizona. It's dry as heck. And I mean, not to be TMI, but like that has done a number on my skin. Like I'm pale and mottled, as it were. I don't know. You see footage or videos or images of these dudes who are like super tan or golden skinned basically and super smooth, and you're just like, man, what does it take to get that kind of complexion? And the answer is a lot of change compared to what I've been doing, which is like just kind of eating sugar whenever I want, not really getting much sunlight, and not moisturizing. Holy cow, moisturizing. Got some lotion and stuff for my face and things like that, because Grok summarized it as some kind of like what did Grok call it? I called it keratosis pilaris, commonly abbreviated as KP and often nicknamed chicken skin. Also mentioned it could be mild body acne or folliculitis. Folliculitis because of small red bumps and spots on your shoulders. Yeah, well, that's common even for guys my age, and especially in dry climate where you have cloth rubbing up against your skin. all day, which is like all that describes my life 100%. If I could live 24/7 walking around in the sun, like not to the point where I get burned, but just around in the sun without a shirt on for hours upon hours every day for weeks, I know for a fact my skin would be better than it is, but it's not. And that's because the part of my skin that doesn't get chafed by cloth and is exposed to the sun all the time, like my lower forearms and some of my bicep, it looks just fine. It's exactly the kind of tan. I tan really well. It takes about an hour of direct sunlight before I really start to feel the tight, dry pink of a burn. Yeah, so that's something I've been thinking about. I need to improve my skincare routine. And I need to build muscle, and all of that is tied up with how much sleep I get, which, man, don't get a construction job if you can avoid it. I mean, I guess it pays good. I make some good money with my construction job, but I'm working like 56-hour weeks, and that's really just largely because of my weekends. Like I work Saturdays, but like a call time at 5 to 3 is a rough work schedule, dude, because it's not just that it's a morning job. It is a morning and a night job, because if you want 8 hours of sleep, you have to be asleep by 8. You tell me how much you realistically can get done between the hours of 4, which is when you really get back from a commute, and then shower. It's like, you tell me what you can fit into your day between 4:30 and 8 or 8:30. 4 hours of your day. Well, an hour of that should be gym. So 3 hours of your day, or at least 30 minutes of that should be gym. Some of that's going to be showering. Some of that's going to be eating. Maybe you go to the bathroom. Maybe you have a conversation with a friend. Now you're left with an hour and a half or 2 hours of your day to fit like 3 very, very important things in. And it's like, that's part of why it's been taking me so long to get any kind of content out, even with some editors. I mean, I've gotten some shorts up because I had some streams, backlogs of streams. But I mean, once we're kind of done with those, unless I stream again on the weekends, there's not going to be much. But in addition to that, videos, it's like, man, I got to play the game more, but then I just don't have time to play the game as much. Like for a Voxy video, I don't just want to be the technical explanation guy of the mods and of the mod packs and of the how to do this. A lot of my audience is that, but I actually do want to make just Minecraft content that's enjoyable for the sake of what is happening in the game. Like, let's stop talking. Yeah, Voxy, okay, it adds LODs. You can see at a far distance. Is that really so much to talk about? Like, there's a feeling inside me that just goes, yeah, you don't need to deal with that. But at the same time, it is interesting. And so, and it's certainly part of the niche that I've found for myself here on YouTube. So it's like, I just need to figure that out. I don't even know what I'm going to title this video. Thoughts on my Minecraft server, or talking to myself while playing Minecraft. I don't even know, dude. Like, I love and hate the modern YouTube ecosystem, because it's like, it really is like a survival of the fittest. There's so much incentive to be really creative, like to really produce a really interesting and well-made video. But at the same time, makes me feel like, oh, now it has to be a perfect video, or it has to be perfectly optimized time. Like, what I'm doing has to be perfectly optimized for the purpose of making some good video. Otherwise, it's just like a waste of time. And it's like, man, that's just so tiring and it's exhausting. And I have some family members, like I have an uncle who's literally, he literally gets paid to help people be more responsible. He's like a trainer. He used to do real estate or work with realtors, but then eventually he just like, he's spoken in front of conferences and stuff like that. And anyways, every time I see him at like a social event, like a family event, he kind of keeps my channel, and he understands what I'm trying to do with my Minecraft channel and all of that. But he's much more pragmatic businessman. Like, oh, you need to be working harder than anybody. You got to be, never say try. You got to, how much do you want it? Like pep talk type of way, 100%. I mean, it is motivational, but like very much in like a, dude, you gotta want it or not. And it's like, dude, I do want it. But at the same time, the type of people that you're helping with the videos that they make don't have to sit and play a video game for hours. They do the kind of content where the value is much more from the information. And so literally they could like just sit and talk at a camera and boom, upload that with barely any editing for the genre of like self-help or business or things like that. Like a large part of those kind of YouTube videos is really just like I'm just recording myself sharing information. And there's some polish you can add to that. And that's obviously a big category on YouTube. You could summarize a lot of videos that way, but certainly not with the kind of niche that I'm trying to get into or that I found myself in. And so now it's questions for myself of like, man, do I just need to double down more, or more concerning questions of like, dude, am I just kind of in my wrong element? Is this just like fundamentally not interesting enough to me? Like, do I even play Minecraft enough to even care to play it enough to produce videos at a consistent rate, even with editors. Even if I offload all of the even creative part of it, what if I just got some editors just like, here, yeah, I'm not going to give you much of any script, just make what you want out of this, boom. Even if I did that, would I be consistent? I don't know, dude. Part of me feels like I wouldn't be. I have like every reason to, but then I need this job. It's rough, man. I gotta make enough money. I gotta work at this job and in my situation now until I get a big enough raise from my day job to be able to fix a lot of the big issues like housing, like, you know, kind of getting out of my parents' sphere of influence. Ideally, while that's also happening, I also lock in with a relationship, you know, try to make that work, and also with my Minecraft channel and try to make that go somewhere, you know, all at the same time. And so that's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to handle. So that's kind of where I'm at. Like even this video of me just talking, and I mean, look, I'll probably send this to an editor and ask him to make it be a little bit better, but you know, than just a bare bones upload. But at the same time, it's like, man, dude, it's draining. It's draining. It's something very draining to constantly be worrying about whether or not what I'm making is going to do well. You know what I mean? And that's what fills me with the kind of jealousy when I see a video that does blow up, that's just like titled something basic. It's like, man, dude, I don't know. I suppose comparison is the thief of joy, so whatever. I should compare to my previous times on YouTube. We reached 25K. That's very exciting. Almost 26K actually, over the course of like 2 weeks. That one video is actually doing really well. It's not going to make me much money at all. It's too short to make any money. There's not even any mid-roll ads. I need like an hour-long video that people watch through. About 30% of people watch through to the end with like a lot of mid-roll ads to make like a couple $1,000s, which is a lot. Like, okay, $1,000. Like, yeah. But like, when you really think about the amount of effort and time put into that, it's like, I don't know, actually. To be honest, maybe I really should just like, because I mean, even if it took me a week, see, this is where it's like, oh man, dude, am I wasting my time working at my day job? Because it's like, if I output like an hour-long video a week that was actually really good and well received and blew up every time, that made me $2,000 over the course of the next few weeks or months, and those would stack and continue to stack, then would I make more money? I don't know. It's just too inconsistent. I really don't know if I can ever dedicate, unless I sit down and think about how I can reformat or figure out some kind of format for videos or something, or blow up to like 250,000 subs, you know, to have that consistent fan base that will make every video do well as far as like ad revenue goes, or have a product or merchandise or something. And I've thought about that. I have some thoughts I could share about that. Then I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably just stay in this kind of midway state for a long time. I've thought about like getting into mod development. I mean, with AI and stuff, it's unbelievably easy. The barrier for entry, in theory, is much less than it might have been in times past. But even still, something like developing a really good mod is just so daunting, because it's like, dude, you have to do more than code the mod. You have to make models for the mod, which means figuring out Blockbench, and you have to animate the models, which means figuring out Blockbench. And then you also have to integrate. So for example, I've been thinking, and nobody steal this idea. If you're listening to this, don't steal this idea. If I could make a mod right now, would be an animals sleeping mod that makes it so that friendly mobs, sheep or cows or, you know, whatever, go to sleep at night. Like they, and it could be super feature rich. They have a kennel or they have a pen, and in order to receive a certain resource, or maybe in order for them to be able to breed or give you passive drops where you don't have to kill them, like sheep with shearing, like maybe shearing the sheep wouldn't give you wool unless they were able to sleep inside a certain pen. So they'd almost add like a tameable element to it. Anyways, but the main feature and appeal of the mod would just be that when nighttime comes, just like the fox kind of lays down or the camel, mobs like sheep or pigs or cows will congregate together and lay down and sleep, and there will be an animation. But then there's the concern of, oh, what about the fresh animations resource pack? And how would you make that work? Like, would it be super glitchy? I can imagine being in development, having vibe coded the functionality to make the mobs like stop and like enter a sleep state or whatever. So they're just kind of standing still though, because I haven't like made the animations work, you know, but then I have to make the animations, but then it's like, oh no, now I want it to be compatible with fresh animations, and not just fresh animations, but perhaps fresh animations extensions or others. And it's like, man, that's really daunting, because now I have to dig into that. And so it's like, what? Also, I can upload what would ultimately I would want it to be a free mod. And so what? Am I going to charge for that mod? And like, that'd be stupid. I don't want to be, that'd be so greedy, or it feels like it'd be greedy. So it's like, okay, as far as a digital product that I could sell, I don't know. I think the server is kind of supposed to be part of that appeal, but I'm putting basically all of the money that I make from memberships into the server, like back into it. So, I mean, as a means of making more money. Honestly, all these thoughts could probably just be chalked up to, this isn't 2014 anymore. This isn't 2012 anymore, man. This isn't just Markiplier uploading a barely edited gaming video, making crazy faces at the camera. This is the corporate slop world of live or die, dog eat dog. You better be able to capture people's attention or not. And I'm not bitter about that. See, that's the thing. So, because I could say that with like a bitterness, but it's not necessarily like I could fault that to anybody. Like, look, in the end, people want to watch entertaining videos. There's something to be said about the kind of videos they're watching. Like, there's lots of critiques about like how Mr. Beast ruined YouTube because, I mean, there's really something to be said about attention span. But like, again, like all those arguments kind of still have to acknowledge the fact that, like, look, in the end, if you're not making an interesting video, who wants to watch? Nobody cares. It's unreasonable. The same way it would be unreasonable socially, like on the level of a social interaction between friends, like in person, in a circle of friends talking, for a person to like demand attention from somebody else unbidden. You have to earn it implicitly through how you interact and communicate in the chemistry between friendships, everything, both verbal and nonverbal, that makes you friends with somebody else. That give and take is something that bears out with videos as well. It's like, who are you to demand that your video be more interesting than it is to somebody else, you know? But then at the same time, you could say to the viewer, because again, a wise approach to life is everything has pros and cons. At the same time, you have to tell viewers, hey, at the same time, why on earth are you watching this slop? Like, wouldn't it be better? Wouldn't it produce a better outcome for yourself and your psyche the same way reading a book would? You know, as far as attention span or just expanding your experiences, to watch this guy who maybe has slower form content or a little bit more down to earth and less crazy editing and less about specifically the subject that you're watching, you know, that you've always watched. And so there's something to be said about that as well. So ultimately, all that to say that in the end, I want to make good videos, and I want them to be good because they are good and because they're optimized to actually deliver to the audience that they need to. Yeah, big rant. 23-minute video here, literally just me mining. Showed you guys the castle a little bit. I want to do something with the server. I feel bad because like I got members and they're paying $5 a month, and most of that money's going again to this server, and I want to make videos from the server. I want to make videos with you guys, but I don't really know how to put together everything. I wish I knew. Because sometimes I struggle with my own interest, you know? Like, or I struggle with the effort to facilitate the kind of interactions or setups that make for good videos. You know, the mod showcases and compilations and little videos about this or that thing are things that I've made because in the end, to some degree, they're relatively formulaic. I wouldn't call them slop, but like it's largely me going, oh, this is how I've seen videos do this, so I'm gonna do that. You know, the same way anybody who's learning how to do an art copies somebody else who's already done it. You know, when you're learning how to draw, you eyeball somebody else's art until you can do it by hand, and then you can extrapolate on it. But then at the same time, every now and then I think, man, I know how to write. Why haven't I like articulated out an entire video game plan and then just literally taken the time to put it together, especially with an editor? I right now, over the course of the next few days, could really buckle down, literally lay out in writing exactly what I'm imagining for the video to be. The video could be, lay out all the footage that I need to get for that video, record all that footage, and send all that footage to the editor and get it done within a week. I could do that, especially about something like a Voxy video. But then there's just like concerns around, I don't even know what kind of thoughts to drum up. But it feels like everyone else who's played this game has mastered how to curate the content into a package that's so delectable that honestly, part of me wishes or wonders if I could have done like Queso did, where all of the value of the content is entirely from his personality, going viral for the funny moments, and then literally just uploading VOD videos essentially and making millions or at least hundreds of thousands or at least tens of thousands at the very, very least. I mean, Queso makes a lot of money. You don't stream to 50,000 people on Twitch and upload hour-long videos that get 600,000 views or 2 million views without making a lot of money. So there's a part of me that wonders if I'm doing myself a disservice and like LARPing as a channel that I'm actually not prepared or interested in maintaining, which is a chilling thought, because it's like, dude, what am I supposed to do? Pull a full 180 on the whole aesthetic and brand that I've built with the videos that I've made so far, show my face, start live streaming horror games, like, you know, just as an example. It's like, well, I don't think so. So I just really need to sit down and think. But at the same time, it's like, man, you learn through experience and doing it. I've only ever gotten this far because of just kind of throwing mud at the wall and seeing what sticks. And so it's concerning to imagine doing that again, you know? In the end, it is my channel and it's whatever videos I want, but like, yeah. Man, I don't mean to be so boring just mining up and talking in here, but this is just what's on my mind about the channel. So I need to get a Voxy video out. I'm probably overthinking things. I could dumb down the threshold for what I'm imagining as worthwhile content. And I've reiterated this to myself several times, you know. I did a little bit of those like unedited series, but that was before I got an editor, so I might just adapt that to just less edited, or just, I don't know, just send it to an editor, see what they can do with it. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. Am I cut out to be famous? I have no idea. I think I'd like to be. Not like means before an end, or end before means, I mean. Or really would just be ultimately, truly, what definition of end goal is it? Oh, I want to be famous. Well, what does that really mean? Well, to truly enjoy that, and this is true for everything, you imagine a big goal that you have. Oh, I want to be muscular. I want to be rich. And all of the positive emotion that you're feeling thinking about those thoughts or imaginations is presuppositions that you have about what that means. Like when I've imagined, oh, I want to be rich, like, oh, imagine if I lived in a nice house. And then the realization comes to mind of, oh man, that house would probably become very dirty because I'm pretty dirty. And whether or not I had money, like basically my room would still be messy from time to time and the bathroom would still need to be cleaned. And sure, I guess I could pay somebody to clean it, but it's like, well, so now you're a rich person who just pays somebody else to clean his room, when the initial dream was something like oh, what if I was just that guy who was rich, but then, oh, the house is clean, or the room is, oh my gosh, that scared me. Excuse me, zombie. You know what I mean? Like basically, there's qualities of character that go unseen or that you just kind of don't think about, but that are actually very important towards the goal you're imagining. You know, like a rich person, they're unbelievably hardworking and effective. They don't put stuff down. They put stuff away. Or at least the ones that I'm imagining are. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there's crazy rich people who live in dirty houses and, you know, because they're just like, oh, super creative, like an Elon Musk type or something. And they just really don't have mental time to like worry about domestic stuff. You know what I mean? There's attendant character qualities that you have to bring to bear in order to actually live the life that you imagine, full of the amenities that you would like to enjoy. You know, human beings are very, very good at falling to their baseline entropy level, just barely ahead of nothing, you know? And you make excuses, and that's why you set your clothes down on the ground instead of taking the time every single time you take your clothes off to hang them up, or every single time you use the sink, brush your teeth or something, wipe the sink down. But if you did those things, the house would remain clean, and therefore, i.e., ergo, produce the imagined rich person bathroom in your head that you imagine that's so clean. It's like, yeah, maybe someone comes and cleans it, but they're not going to come and clean it every day, like maybe once a week. So why aren't you imagining the dirty bathroom rich person time? Oh, because you don't want to think about that. It's like, you got to think about that because you can't escape your life. This is your life you have to live, and there's responsibility. What I'm saying is essentially Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. With great riches comes necessary character qualities that both maintain the riches and properly utilize the riches so that you don't lose them, and so that you actually look the part. Something like that. I don't know. Editor, break this guy's knees. I need to go to sleep. It's 9:38. Diamonds! Sleep can wait. I need to sleep. I'm already getting like 7.5 hours of sleep at this point, which is already in the red zone because it's going to take me 30 minutes to fall asleep. So I'm down to 6 or 7 and then 6 hours of sleep. Editor, remove my saying those two numbers, please. I'm kidding. It feels weird talking to it. I don't like that. I like having an editor, but it still feels like wrong. Even though I pay them, even though I mean, maybe. Just kidding. After I pay them, I still feel guilty. I still feel like it feels wrong handing over something like a video and just being like, yeah, edit this. Do this work for me. I guess I just kind of imagine making videos being a more personal thing. That's why I hope that I can get close to people who edit my videos, just not on a 100% personal level, but just on like a familiarity level where I'm comfortable and understand. I mean, obviously something like a Markiplier Lixian relationship would be pretty cool later down the line, but like, you know, within reason. It's a professional relationship. So it's like the value of that relationship will depend 100% on the value of the work that's being put out. And it would immediately become awkward or difficult working with someone in any environment if the shift started to sway from the actual work that you two are both doing or participating in. Because then it's like, oh, well, now the way we have to associate is not on that, but that's what it was initially. So what, now I have to like, what, get to know the chauffeur or the valet parking guy? It's like, well, and I'm not trying to compare the editors to that, but you know what I mean? Of just, in theory, you're paying someone to do something. Actually, that's a completely fine analogy. I don't have a problem with that at all. Editors are like valet parking for YouTubers. I could do it, but like to save time, I'm gonna pay you to do it. And it's completely fine because you're totally okay with doing it. And it's actually a really nice job and it's really cool. But like ultimately that is kind of what it is. That's crazy. Actually, I don't know if that's offensive or not. Editor, I'm sorry. You're good. You're chilling. I appreciate it. All right, I gotta go to sleep. We got a singular diamond today. We have Fortune 3 on this shovel and it gave us almost, well, it gave 2 full stacks of flint. I can make a ton of arrows with these. We need to get enough levels so that we can get all of these enchants off of our shovel and onto our pickaxe. Because, oh man, I need to be doing shorts. Like, I need to be doing actual produced shorts. But I don't just want to be like another mod showcaser. I want to actually like do interesting stuff with the mods. You know what I mean? Like show what could be done, but that just requires a kind of creativity and time in the game that's just it's going to take so long. This server's going to stick around for as long as I can and eventually get to the point where I can showcase different mods working 100%. Like, oh, today we're doing, like, as part of the natural progression of what I'm working on in the world, we're going to be working on this farm or on this feature that this mod is associated with. Like the supplementaries mod adds soap. And how funny would it be to like make a public bathhouse and then there's like soaps and stuff around, or just make a bathroom, diamonds. And then now you have something to do with the soap. It's like, that's kind of funny. Like, you know, just as a bad example. Oh, it's so many diamonds too. All right, we got to end this video on the diamonds. Very hype, very epic. All right, that's the video. Castle mining rant about my channel. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully soon. Either next weekend or at some point. I'll do a follow-up to the Voxy video and then do some showcase of some cool mods. So thank you guys. I'll see you around.